that stupid punk rock. I don't, you know, I just think of it as rock and roll because that's what it is.
Neighbors.
No one loves you like he loves you.
You want Bill Sperm with that?
Sunday, we'll be back in the lab.
Your answer is non sequitur.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jeff Feuerhaken. Welcome to another episode of the Punk Rock Chronicles podcast.
This is Stan Mueller, and today we've got an old friend of ours, Mike Monster of the Spooky. And Mike's been in the Spooky. I think you guys started back in 1995, so they've been around for about 25 years, which is pretty cool. But you know, Mike's got older history. He's been around in the scene for a while. So why don't you take it back and tell us about when you first got into punk rock and how that all came about?
Well, I grew up in my neighborhood. I grew up with a bunch of punks that were in my neighborhood. When I was younger, probably around, I was like 13, 14, and I was all into, you know, Ozzy and Led Zeppelin,
Sure,
Sabbath. You know, we were all there, and I had heard Sex Pistols and you know, during the school times, and there's older punks that went to my school that I was always freaked out on, you know. But I was like, that'd be kind of cool to, like, you know, get what they're into, you know. Like,
right.
So I had neighbors. If you've seen that movie Suburbia, there's a couple of people, main characters in that. That's the neighborhood I came from. So Bill Coyne, Joe Coyne. Those were all the troublemaking punks around my neighborhood. And so one day, like, one of them turned me on to, like, DOA, Broken Bones, Nip Drivers, China White.
Yeah.
All that shit, and they just lent me all this stuff. You know, I got hair down to here. You know, I'm just going, what is this?
Right.
We had turned it on, and, you know, they had the big headphones back in the day, just like in your mom's living room.
The ghetto blasters.
Angry, and I love it. And I just started getting more and more into it, hanging out with them. And they were just like, you should cut your hair, dude. You know, you should, here, listen, come on here. So I started just making my hair all tripped out, listening to a lot of punk, and that's where I started listening to it.
Nice. Now, were you a musician before you started listening to punk? Which came first, punk rock?
But I knew I had it. I had it in me, but I just didn't try, you know, until later. I started out as a drummer.
Okay.
In a band called FMA.
What does that stand for?
We got it from a fundamental math arithmetic book at school.
So FMA stands for Fundamental Math Arithmetic.
No, we
okay.
named it Fatal Malicious Aggression.
There you go.
And I was on.
That's a little bit more punk rock than the
yeah.
math one. Yeah.
So I had a 5-piece Ludwig. I can't do this job. I don't want this job. It's too tiring. And so I got some. I started fiddling around with the bass and the guitar.
Okay.
And then one night we were at a backyard party. Someone needed a singer, and everybody's urged me to go up there because they heard me sing. And so I went up in front of this party and sang. And everybody was, you know, monumental moment, like in a movie. Like, yo, dude, you were so great. It's like, I could be a singer, you know. So I just started singing in bands after that. And
so before that, it was just like singing in the shower and shit like that?
yeah, grew up on I grew up in a musical family, so I grew up around a lot of Lennon, McCartney, Stones, Neil Diamond, you know, a lot of weird stuff. Chicago, Beach Boy, all kinds of shit in my family.
Okay.
So I started singing.
A lot of range.
A lot of different ranges and stuff, you know, and just that taught me how to sing.
Okay. So your parents were singers at all?
No. My dad was more into the mariachi stuff, and my mom was more into, like, Neil Diamond and, you know, all that sappy stuff. And
so how did they take you getting into punk rock?
they didn't really bother me too much about it. I mean, the temper tantrums I'd throw in my room with Minor Threat blasting, and you know, my mom was she's like, God, man, you know, she came in, knocked on my door. She's like,
what's going on in there?
Yeah, you know, I'm singing Parents, Why Won't They Shut Up? Descendants. She's like, you really think that about me? I'm like, well, what's that song, Parents, Shut Up? I'm like, I don't know, it's just cool. You know, I don't hate you or nothing. I think it's just cool. Maybe my dad, I don't really like that dick, but I like you. But yeah, that's all right.
What bands were you in, though? You were singing in some bands, like, in the 80s, right?
I think when I was around I did the FMA thing, and then some other band like when I was 15. Around 16, I was in a band called Vicious Circle, but there was too many Vicious Circles. There was Jack Grisham's Vicious Circle, and there's a lot of these, so
Right.
we had to change it. It was more of a thrash hardcore band, screaming and yelling about something I shouldn't even be talking about that I don't know, a bunch of politics. That's why I got over all that shit. So I just decided to make my own thing, what I loved since I was a kid, which was horror movies, so I did that. But yeah, I sang for them. I did the thrash thing for a while, and I got tired of people kind of leading me and stepping on me, and so I just decided to do something myself.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
form something myself. And then,
That's where the spooky started?
yeah, that's where the spooky started.
Okay.
It was a blueprint. I'm gonna do like a horror thing, and call it the spooky.
Yeah. Well, let's talk
Now I
about...
look back at it and go, why did I call it that?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
let's talk about how, obviously there's a lot of connections between punk rock music and like a horror movie type aesthetic. Why do you think that those two elements go so hand in hand?
With horror and punk.
Mm-hmm.
How horror punk has changed to begin with. It's not what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like a old school type punk rock when I first started it. Now it's like a lot of these people incorporated screamo into it, and everybody's being pretty boy about it now, and just putting metal in. I'm like, that's not horror punk. That's metal. That's screamo. And so the way I wanted it to be, how it went hand in hand, was an old school type punk feel, horror punk rock. I think it goes hand in hand because we're monsters of society as it is.
Oh, that's good.
The torches and the pitchforks are always after the fucking punks because
Yeah.
we're different, and horror punk is that anger and that differency. How do you say it? The
Conflicts.
the conflict, and it intermixes, and it's against society, and it's just a werewolf, a reanimated corpse, or anything like that just offends people and scares people. That goes well with punk to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say? Give me like some of your all-time favorite horror movies.
Well, I would say The Night of the Living Dead has always been my favorite.
Of course, that's a
'cause
great one.
It's 1960s, and you can never
Super low budget.
recapture that anymore. And matter of fact, we are going to be promoting our new album, our new release, with a music video called The Walking Dead. And
Sweet.
Judith O'Dea, the main character in that movie, Barbara, coming to get you. Her daughter is going to be in our video.
No way.
Portray her mom.
Wow.
Really?
Dress up, yeah. She's going to drive down from Arizona. We're going to do this whole music vid.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm stoked, man. I'm really
cool.
stoked.
Hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
So how did the spooky? You had this idea, and it's in the '90s. I'm assuming that you're putting this brainchild together. And how did you find the band members? How did that all come about?
Well, the spooky started out with me, Joe, and Damon. And I just said, I'm going to start a band called The Spooky. You'll be Joe Corpse. You'll just be Damon, and I'll be Mike Monster. And let's jam. And I got Joe from an Oi band. He was playing in an Oi skinhead band. But he could play those old beats, and he goes, I want to do something different, get away from this skinhead stuff because it's just getting ridiculous. And all right, let's jump in this band. We got that together, and it's like that old song by Joey quit, Damon got married, should have known.
Summer of '69?
Yeah, that was basically how they went.
Yeah.
Damon quit and Joey got married. No, Damon got married and Joey quit. That's what happened, and they kind of bailed on me. One got into I'm rockabilly now.
So who's
I'm gonna
standing
be
on the
a
mother's
rockabilly. I go,
porch?
okay, bye. Huh? Yeah.
Who was standing on the mother's porch telling them it would last forever? That's what I want to know.
It was probably me. So that's how I started that band.
Okay.
And we had members coming in and out throughout the years. I'm the only one keeping it together. And actually, we have like 2 more LA shows coming up next month. And I'm going to hang it up for a little bit and do a little other side project I'm going to be working on.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to release our release and do it and see how well it does and stuff. Maybe I'm going to bring it back later, but I'm just giving it a rest.
Just a little break, hiatus.
After 2 decades of this stuff, man, I'm just like, I need to do something new,
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some like double bass, like really angry.
Well, it seems like every punk band takes at least some sort of like hiatus, and they always end up coming back.
We'll come back. It's
Pretty
just-
much like it's like with bands that I've been in. Like there's like a cycle every few years when we don't play. It's like, hey, let's like play again. Let's like play a couple shows, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always kind of tends to happen.
You gotta come back. I mean, the scene it's not like how it used to be. And then in the mid '90s, the scene was happening. I mean, it was Smogtown, U.S. Bombs, Static 99, us. It was a whole Disaster Records like deal, and then Hostage took it over, of course. And there was a big scene. Sometimes you just go to these shows. It's not as unity isn't as much there as it used to be. I find that everybody's getting older, getting babies, or turning rockabilly, or
Well, yeah. How would you say that punk rock has changed over the years?
within the scene. Not,
Yeah.
I mean, in some certain shows, there's not too much support. There's not too much unity like how that used to be. Of course, if you go to GBH or like the bigger band, those are always fucking fun.
Yeah.
Those are the hard hitters right there.
Right.
But it's just there's no support. A lot of and besides with some of the punks, a lot of the punks don't get what horror punk is. So if you're not political and you're not dressed like halfway like the Beach Boys and doing a horror punk band, like a lot of these bands are. We were never
dressed like the Beach Boys?
Well, you know how like a lot of the punk bands with the striped shirts and they're like hang ten and like we're like with the Dwayne Peter bands. We were totally the black sheep of all those bands, and that's why we were kind of the we were the bastard child of
Yeah, but at least you're like original when you're the black sheep.
Yeah.
You know, you're not following the trends. That
Black
Well,
sheep.
we did-
there's something to say for that.
something like that,
Yeah.
out of step or something.
Hey, let's get back to your guys' music.
Let's do it.
Now, when you guys were writing music for the Spooky, were you the primary songwriter, or like how did the songs come about?
Yeah, I wrote. Just sat on the side of edge of my bed and I wrote them all.
Okay.
Basically, that's where I write them. Just sit there with a tape recorder, press record, do it old school, and play it back, and just remember everything,
Right.
And then just go in and tell the guys, okay, this is how it goes, and I pretty much conducting like where there's no, I don't read notes. I don't know how to read notes. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Right.
So I have to sit there for long periods of time, just banging this into their fucking brains.
Yeah, I can't picture very many like punk rockers like classically writing out like their notation for their music. We'll go for a C minor chord and then to a G major right here.
It'd be interesting to learn.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have the time to.
Yeah.
The patient.
Not totally
And the
necessary, I
patience,
guess. Yeah.
Well, you guys have written a lot of songs. I mean, how many songs have you written and recorded?
I don't know. I
100?
no idea.
I mean, you have a lot of out there, a lot of recordings.
There's a lot of recordings out there, and then there's a few that I haven't put out that Hostage Records wants, but I tell them to no because they're trying to just dig everything that I have to put out. Then if I want to put something out and I hear it, I'm just like, oh, that's horrible. But if I release, if someone asks me to get something and then I listen to it when it's out and I'm not happy with it, they've already done that. I'm just like,
Yeah, of course.
'Cause
You don't want to
yeah.
hear stuff that you've done that
Yeah.
you're not proud of course.
it's something that I put out that I didn't finish, and then I
Oh,
wish I
well,
could
yeah.
have put more into it.
Sure.
And then now it's
Sure.
out. I'm like, oh God, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
A
sometimes
lot of people love it, but then I'm always worried about the other people are like,
I think-
it kind of sucks, Mike. You know?
yeah, it kind of depends on like the context because people put out albums of like their demos and stuff, and people understand that it's not like a totally finished, polished product,
Exactly.
but they like the fact that this was like
Before.
the inception of these ideas, like the
Yeah,
raw
yeah.
version.
It's a different recording than recently we just had. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The new recording, man. I'm really happy about that. Past recordings, we've had some good engineers, but then some, I'm pretty sure you guys know, some of the recordings didn't turn out the way you want them to be. Not very
I know what that's like.
powerful.
So, yeah, sometimes it sounds different, like when you're in the studio playing live, and then you hear it recorded, and you're just kind of like, sometimes you're like, this sounds better than I was expecting, and sometimes
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Do you have any of your like what songs are like your favorite songs of yours that you love playing that you just never get tired of?
I think the new ones that we're putting out are my favorite now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us about the new album?
Well, the new we just got done recording in Dexter Holland's studio from The Offspring, invited
Oh,
us
sweet.
in there with his guy, and we just recorded 5 songs. Just got done with mastering a couple days ago.
Nice.
And one's called Horror Express. One's called iZombie. Both movies. One's from a Fangoria film movie, and the other one has Christopher Lee in it, but it isn't a Hammer film.
Oh yeah, I love Christopher Lee.
Yeah, and then we have Great Devil Tide, which is about. I wrote that song about kind of Asian, these Asians out in Asia believe in these deities of like devils that live in the ocean, and they cause the tsunamis when they get angry at their people. So I wrote a song about that. So it was Great Devil Tide, and they called it Akuma no Tsunami, which means Great Devil Tide.
Okay.
So I wanted to write that for like the surfer and skater guys. You know
For the Beach Boys guys with their striped shirts.
So what was recording like at their studio? I mean, I saw you post some stuff on Facebook. It looked pretty cool. Just can you talk about that experience and with that type of actual professionalism? It sounds like. Yeah,
they're very professional people. I mean, we just known each other since we were riding big wheels when we were kids together. So, and then we used to pick on them in school, and then they said they had a punk band, and we laughed, and then. We saw that they exploded, and we're like, holy shit. A totally different style of music.
Sure. Yeah.
I think they made their own type of style. That's what I'm proud about them.
Yeah.
Well, they're around for a while, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Before they hit.
They have their Grammys up in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's always crazy to see. Yeah,
they got their own hand dryer. I'm like, I don't have a hand dryer in my room. And the recording, the sound, it's music to my ears. I love it. I've never had that type of style of music, the way this guy recorded our music, and I was blown away.
How long were you guys in the studio for?
The other guys laid down tracks, and then they had to go home to their families. I was basically in there, in and out for a few weeks.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you guys did a lot of overdubs and stuff like that?
Some tedious time.
Studio magic?
Sitting there till 1 and 2 in the morning, dude. Just... No, yeah, put that up. No, put that. Oh, did you hear that? Put that in that. That'd be cool. Yeah. And the guy's fun to work with, man. He goes, oh, did you hear that? Let's put that in here. So it's all about just splicing and putting things together. And then you get a wild idea,
How did that whole arrangement come together? I mean, I know you guys were friends. I mean, how did it come to the point where like, hey, Mike, come down to our studio and record?
Because I talk to them once in a while, and I see, I run into them and go to the bars. We had opened up for them a couple of Halloweens ago at the Galaxy. Their agent got a hold of me, and they said the boys would like for you to open up for them. And I was like, fuck, all right, So we played out in front of a sold out show. That was pretty rad. We just always had respect for each other because we grew up together as friends. So he gave me advice, I gave him advice. And he just says, Mike, we're just trying to make music out here, man. And, I go, exactly. And he said, why don't you just, I go, he goes, you coming out with anything? I go, yeah, well, we're just trying to look for something. He goes, why don't you just go in our studio, and then we'll give you a bro deal. And I'm like, oh, sounds good to me. So we just went in there, and we started recording. Wish we could do 5 more, but... Their engineer's too busy, so I'm just like, luckily I got 5 of them.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So I think about maybe doing like a live and a regular studio recording.
Make a full length out of it.
Yeah, because we got some old live recordings I'd love to put out.
Oh, sweet, that'd be pretty cool.
They're hilarious too.
Wait, why are they hilarious?
Because you could hear the mics. You can pick up everything. Where the guy was recording you when you play live. Yeah. So you can hear my drummer. My drummer doesn't know. He's playing. He's going, fuck, shit, cunt, bitch.
Does he have Tourette's?
Fucking hippie. Fuck you. Fuck Mike. Yeah. He's like, fuck. I hate this job. But
Mike's such an asshole.
Yeah.
He's a dick. I fucking hate that guy.
Come at me. I get it all the time.
Yep. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Yeah, I mean, who's gonna put that out for you? Is that something you're working on?
Hostage Records is saying that they're considering it, so we need to sit down. I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna pick up Rick and Paul hostage in the car, maybe next week, and I'm gonna blast our new stuff.
Kidnap them, take them on a ride, lock the doors.
As much as I'd love to do that, and get Rick in a chokehold. Rick,
Make it happen.
You hear that, Rick? This is fair warning. Might want to hide or make sure you're prepared or whatever. I don't know.
If hostage don't grab it, we got a couple of labels in LA that are waiting to grab it.
Okay, cool.
So.
Yeah, somebody will put it out there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good.
If not, I'll sling it back in my back of my trunk of my car.
Let's go old school with it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Free. Just.
Nice.
So, Mike, what does punk rock mean to you?
Anger, defiance, freedom, doing anything I fucking want to do, and don't fucking tell me to never do it. That's what it means to me.
Do it
Good.
your way, right?
Yeah.
The Mike Monster way.
That's it.
So,
Ooh, baby, I love your way. Mike Monster Day.
I'm waiting to hear the Neil Diamond stuff come out.
Oh, man.
The Diamond
You're
cover.
gonna hear the Mike Monster sings Neil Diamond?
Yeah,
The greats.
cover album. That would be sick.
Here coming to America.
Oh man, that's good. So if you were never, like, say you never found punk rock music, how do you think your life would be different?
I'd probably still have really long hair, and I'd be getting fucking stoned out of my mind, and riding my BMX bike.
It's not much difference, right?
Yeah, selling joints.
Just so basically the hair would be shorter. That's it.
I'd have Master of Reality blasted,
Hell yeah.
rockets engine burning fuels. Yeah, I'd probably be still a freaking headbanger.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with being a headbanger, dude. I love metal.
Not at all.
You said you were thinking about doing another like side project thing. What's that all about?
I'm gonna start a side project called Monster, and I got some really good on par musicians on this one.
Okay. What's the style? What's the pitch of Monster?
I would say it'd be a cross between old Dr. No meets The Cult meets Black Sabbath meets Excel.
Meets Neil Diamond?
Yeah. Pogo.
No, that sounds awesome. I love a lot of those bands for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be got a lot of double bass in it. We got a
Oh, really?
this
A lot heavier sounds
wizard
like, right?
guitarist that just ripping.
So a little bit of shredding happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gonna do some anger.
Okay.
Definitely gonna be some anger in it.
Nice.
That sounds good.
Are you guys writing music yet, or is it just at the beginning phases?
Yeah, I got at home. I got 2 books of pages and pages of stuff I wrote. One's for the new band, the other with Pass of the Spooky and stuff like that. So I got a pretty good, thick stack of new songs I'm gonna do. I just got to work with them for a while because these are going to be longer songs, more intricate songs. I'm going to be focusing more on my voice. Where there's going to be a lot of course, like screaming, yelling, but then I'm going to break down with my melodic voice, like I like to sing with, So it'll be half and half.
So for this, are you not going to be playing an instrument? You're just going to be only singing?
I haven't decided that yet.
Okay.
If I'm going to play the bass and sing, or if I'm just going to get someone to come in, because if I search for one and I get they're going to have to be good. I can't.
That
dealing
helps.
with poor
It helps
shit.
for them to be good.
Yeah.
Must be solid.
So I think I have to grab it myself if I do it, But playing the bass like Lemmy and singing, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'll do it again, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know you've done a lot of work as a musician, just touring with bands. Can you talk a little bit about some of your experiences touring the world?
Depends who we're talking about, and I'll tell you.
Whoever you want.
Well, there's one particular band I won't talk about because I'm not going to give them the plug at the time of the day. But I went to Europe with them a few times. Got to experience a lot of cool shit, see different cultures.
What was your favorite place in Europe?
I'd say
Romania.
Romania, and I'd say Russia.
You guys played in Russia?
Moscow and St. Petersburg.
No shit. Okay.
And
That must have been wild.
yeah, it was. Especially when you're in the plane, you're like, we're going behind the Iron Curtain.
What are the fans like there?
They were just like the fans, like, I don't know if you remember the Fenders Ballroom days, the old punk rock days, where everybody is just flying around like grasshoppers, just going nuts.
So they're
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then, like, we play in Romania, they just grab me and they pick me up while I'm playing. And so they're passing me around the whole auditorium place. I'm going, take me back to the stage. And they're just like, yeah. You are.
Wait, so
the girls are like, Monster, you know that all the girls in Romania aren't all really vampires. I was like, oh, really? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. We drove through the Carpathian Forest, which is a mind blow that I never thought I'd experience, because that's a magical forest. It's a very legendary forest.
The Carpathian Forest?
The Carpathian Forest.
Feel at home?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was the legends and the stories that came out of that forest, from Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and a lot of werewolf movies came out of it. It's supposed to be a haunted forest.
Really? I didn't know about that.
I just want to just get out of the car and run around.
Did you?
Naked?
Yeah.
But you didn't?
I did. I just like, like Mike.
Where'd Mike go?
Oh yeah, the band members turn around and go, you're fucking liking this shit, aren't you? And I go, fucking yeah. You guys pull over, like, no, we got to get to. But luckily we got to visit the castle, Vlad Dracula's castle, where he was born.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Vlad the Impaler?
The Impaler, yeah. The guy that they made Dracula
after,
off of.
right.
That was cool.
Yeah?
I grabbed a chunk off the castle and took it home.
Shut up, really?
Yeah. I was always
pretty awesome.
Shh. There's you go in that castle, there's little paths that will take you down into different parts of the forest. And you're just like, you're kind of drunk and kind of stoned, and you're just kind of like, oh, I shouldn't go down there. Should I go down there? What's down there?
You're like,
I'm Mike Monster.
Yeah. And then we were late to our show in Transylvania because we were spending so much time in the castle. And we finally get there, and the owner runs out, starts screaming at us. You are late! You are late! You don't do this in my profession! And the guy, the guys in my band are almost 7 foot tall, with fucking chaos spikes. And they're standing down looking at him, and I'm looking at him. He's just, and we're going, dude, you need to calm down and quit yelling at us. Calm down. And he's like, la, 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 la. Finally, we just circled him. And we're like, we're Americans, dude. Don't you fucking yell at us like that. You fucking got that? And he's like, oh, and he ran inside and he got his brother. His brother came out and he goes, look, guys, I'm sorry. My brother, he gets so angry about, you guys just set up and play, please. And we can stay at our house tonight. We have spaghetti or something. I don't know. We're like, okay. Thanks
like Italian
for understanding.
Spaghetti, forget about it.
In 5 minutes. Hey,
spaghetti.
This is Romania. Where's the Transylvania spaghetti? Huh?
Good old fashioned, like my grandma's
Was it
recipe.
good?
Yeah.
Was the marinara good?
I don't believe I had any spaghetti.
Oh.
But yeah, they apologized. But as far as the fan base, they were fun to play in front of. They were very interesting people.
That's cool.
Yeah, very beautiful people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's next for Mike Monster?
Drinking my beer.
What are those last shows? You said you had 2 more spooky shows, right?
We got, let's see. Oh, and I got something for you guys.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We have risen.
Check it out.
This has 2 bonus tracks on it. Was recently put out. Usually there was 13, but there's 2 more on here.
Awesome.
for you guys
Thanks,
to
man.
listen to.
Sweet.
Spooky.
Hell
Nobody
yeah.
doesn't get it.
Thank you.
Just make one if you can't get one. I'm
Nice.
pretty sure you can.
Yeah, if you guys want your own spooky CD, obviously look it up online. I'm sure they can find it in the usual places. Is that right?
If Hostage Records is still have them,
Might be out of press.
that's Nothing But a Nightmare Records, which we fell out with, had an argument with. I'm not dealing with them anymore.
Okay.
But if you want to get any of our stuff, you just go to Hostage Records, or you go online, and I'm pretty sure someone has a bootleg.
Sweet.
I've seen a few
okay.
of them.
So that's where you can find their music online, bootlegs or Hostage Records,
Yeah.
wherever.
Bootleg.
Buy bootleg. Support your local bootlegger.
Hey, at least somebody gave a shit to give you a bootleg, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But we got two more shows in LA and like next month. One at the Redwood and one at 5 Star Bar.
Okay.
So we're gonna play with some good bands. One band called the Dirty Horror.
The Dirty Horror.
They're a good band.
I thought you said
Yeah.
the Dirty
The Dirty Horror.
Dirty.
We're paying
The Dirty,
with the Dirty
Horror.
on stage like this. Bitch, now we're gonna sacrifice you.
Awesome.
That's what's coming up next, and then just keep writing music, and hopefully get this new band up off the ground. Keep doing what I do. A lot of people don't get it, but I get it, so that's all that matters. And of course, you get a lot of haters, you get a lot of weirdos in life, and that's just the way it is with everybody.
That's life, though, right?
Yeah. So I just keep going. You know, they kick you when you're down, you get right back up. Ain't no shit off my fucking knees.
Yeah, those are words to live by.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
that's what I'm gonna just keep on doing it until I, end up 6
can't.
feet in the ground.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
man,
that's-
for sure.
And hopefully I come back after that.
Of course, you're Mike Monster, right?
Of course.
Why would you not rise from the dead? Seriously. All right,
There's
man.
songs to be made. Where's my beer, woman?
All right, man. It's been great having you on the show.
Right,
Thank you for coming in and sharing
Thank
stories
you,
with
guys.
us. Absolutely.
Okay.
So if you guys like our podcast, make sure that you subscribe on Apple Podcasts so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to review. Give us a 5-star review, hopefully. Rate it for us. That'd be super awesome. Helps other people find it. And if you guys like watching the video versions of the podcast, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. My name is Jeff Feuerhaken. You guys can find me in the usual places online.
I'm Stan Mueller.
Yep. All right. And I guess
Mike Monster out.
Mike Monster out. All right, guys. We'll see you next episode.